Hi, thanks for joining us. This is Deborah Sharp. We're here live. We're actually at the film festival, and I am interviewing Mark Rosenberg. Everybody knows Mark Rosenberg, our friend who's just completed his feature film. It's a film about Jewish middle-aged surfers in Los Angeles. And tell us what the name of the film is, Mark.
Don't Feel Guilty About Stealing Waves.
I love it. That sounds very appropriate for a Jewish flick. So tell us a little bit about making the movie. Tell us how long did it take you to make the film?
About almost a day and a half.
A day and a half? It doesn't really sound like it's very long, but I know you shot that in the winter and it was very cold, is my understanding. Is that true?
Yeah, it was very, very cold.
So the water was really cold, but I'm assuming, were you in the water the entire time when you were filming the show?
I'm in the film, so I was in the water quite a bit, yeah.
But you must have been wearing wetsuits while you were making the film?
Do you know what those things cost?
Okay, so wetsuits were not in the budget. All right, is that part of the whole Jewish theme of this movie? So tell us something else about the surfing. Are you ever afraid when you're out there in the ocean? I know there are a lot of sharks and things out there. Do you ever get scared when you're out there?
There's sharks out there?
Well, I've been told, yes, there are definitely sharks out in the water a lot of the time out there, even in the Pacific.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't mean to put the fear of God in you, Mark, but that's what I've heard.
I'm gonna have to rethink this whole thing. I'm glad we got all that footage. I'm glad we got all that footage already.
Well, the filming's over, so it's okay. You can just edit everything out that you need to edit out. But do you ever get scared about anything else when you're out there surfing?
Well, my parents are on the beach, so I think I'm okay if I get in trouble.
That's great. That's great to know. So it gives you a little bit of added security there. Now, tell us, Mark. Also, we understand that. So I understand that sometimes to practice your surfing, you go out on something called a carve board. Tell us more about a carve board.
That's right. It's like a giant skateboard. It has these big rubber tires, and we ride it down mountain roads, and it simulates the movement of surfing.
Okay, so you're actually on the road on your carve boards, and there's no water, correct?
No water on the road.
Now, where do you do this? I'm assuming it's not going to be on the 405 or even on Wilshire Boulevard.
Up in the mountains.
In the mountains, so there's nobody around. Okay, and tell me what is people's reaction when they see grown men on basically what are skateboards roaming around on these isolated roads? What do people think of that?
I think the words that we heard last week were arrested development.
Arrested development. You heard it here first from Mark Rosenberg. A little bit of arrested development going on in his life, but we appreciate that you made this film. Tell us something else about. Is there any aspect of this surfing profile about Jewish men that does Jewishness make surfing more difficult or different in any way, Mark?
I think actually it's a non-denominational sport.
I would have to agree, and one that I've seen you are very good at. We've all watched you. One more question that our viewing audience is dying to know, Mark. Who are you wearing?
This is from Fred's Tea Tops down in Venice Beach.
Fred's Tea Tops. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Mark Rosenberg shops at Fred's Tea Tops. I'm sure they're going to get a run on those tank shirts today. Thanks very much for joining us. We'll see you soon.